Hi friends, my name is Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you my picks for the femmefantale read-along. So the femmefantale read-along is a read-along between Jean and her friend whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. I will put them up on the screen and I will link them down below. It's a little bit more than a week-long readathon from March 2nd to March 10th to focus on reading fantasy literature by women. For those of you who haven't seen my last video, I have already filmed a March TBR video. These were based on prompts that I received from you guys from Instagram. They are all books by women from all over the place. So what I'm going to do today is highlight the fantasy books in this stack, explain what categories they fit into with femmefantale readathon, and also show 3 books that I'm thinking of reading specifically for the femmefantale readathon in addition to the March TBR. So the first one is Not Just a Witch by Ava Ibbotson. So Ava Ibbotson is a children's fantasy author. She wrote The Secret of Platform 13. I have also read Something About a Ghost by Ava Ibbotson. I've also read Witch, which is hilarious. It's children's literature, so it's small, it's cute, it's quirky, it's fun. Why not try and read it during the femmefantale read-along? This is the story of Hecate Tenbury Smith, who can turn people into animals and create new animals out of thin air. She's an animal witch and a recent graduate of a school for good witches. Determined to make the world a better place, Hecate envisions starting a band of wickedness hunters. She befriends a boy named Daniel, informs him of her mission to do good by turning bad people into animals. Together, Hecate and Daniel perform many good deeds, such as turning the mean owner of a nursing home into a warthog. It sounds really fun. The next book I have here is The Monstrous Child by Francesca Simon. This is again a piece of children's literature, and it says, Hell never wanted to be queen, but being a normal teenager wasn't an option either. Now she's stuck ruling the underworld for eternity. She doesn't want your pity, but she does demand that you listen. It's only fair that you hear her side of the story. The last thing that I have here for my March TBR is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. It's about a girl named Ophelia who possesses 2 special gifts, an unrivaled talent for reading the pasts of objects and the ability to travel through mirrors. Her peaceful, if somewhat dull existence on the Ark of Anima is interrupted when she is promised in marriage to Thorn, a taciturn and influential member of a powerful clan from a distant Ark. Ophelia must follow her fiancé to the towering city of Citalest, where nobody can be trusted. There, in the company of her inscrutable future husband, Ophelia slowly realizes that she is a pawn in a political game that will have far-reaching ramifications not only for her, but her entire world. The Monstrous Child might fit into inspired by myth with like Hades and that underworld stuff. I'm not sure yet. This was published in 1989, so meets the challenge for published pre-2000. A Winter's Promise fits the challenges of translated fiction and YA. New books that I'm adding very ambitiously. I have The Surface Breaks, a reimagining of The Little Mermaid by Louise O'Neill. I don't think I really need to get into it because most people are familiar, at least with the rough idea of a Little Mermaid story. So this will fit with the challenge of a fairy tale retelling and YA. Then I have the second book in the Inheritance trilogy. I read the first book during Black History Month, 100,000 Kingdoms. This is The Broken Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. This is fantasy and it is by a Black female author, which meets the category for, I don't know what a BAM author stands for in the UK. I know that this meets that square. This also meets the category for adult fantasy. The last book I have here is bending the rules for one of the categories, and that is historical fantasy. I don't know that any of these are like proper historical fantasy, but this is a history of fantasy. This is the Tough Guide to Fantasyland by Diana Wynne Jones, and so it's basically a piece of nonfiction that pokes fun at the tropes of the fantasy genre, and so because it's looking at the history of fantasy literature, I am going to count it for that square. It is a standalone. It is adult, and it's published pre-2000. So these are the books that I hope to tackle during the femmefantale read-along. Like I said, any relevant links to videos or people will be in the description box down below if you want to join the femmefantale read-along. International Women's Day is on March 8th. This readathon is very appropriately timed. I'm reading books by women all throughout the month. It's great to have like a community thing happening right at the beginning to be super motivating. So before we go, I'd like to thank my patrons. Thank you, patrons, for making videos like this and longer form content possible. I very much appreciate that you are enabling me to do this work. If you are interested in becoming a patron, links for that will be in the description box down below. Let me know your thoughts on my TBR, and let me know if you're participating in the readathon in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. I feel like I have to chat a little bit to make room for the end screen that is hopefully on the screen at this moment. I know this is a very ambitious TBR, but I'm feeling really motivated right now.